Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Pakistan Ki Raay, your digital front row to Pakistan's voice in Canada. I am your host, Qasim Khanzada, independent journalist, digital commentator, and community activist based in Vancouver, British Columbia. Today's episode is a special one. We are honored to be joined by a distinguished guest whose presence represents the face of Pakistan on Canadian soil. A diplomat, a statesman, and somebody whose leadership carries aspirations of a vibrant and resilient nation. As we mark Pakistan's independence with pride and renewed purpose, this conversation is a chance to reflect not only where we've come from, but where we're headed. In diplomacy, trade, youth engagement, the deep connection between Pakistan and the Pakistani Canadian community. From showcasing our culture and heritage to exploring opportunities for cooperation in education, technology, climate, and beyond. This dialogue aims to build bridges between people, policy, and potential. So, without further delay, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome His Excellency, the Ambassador of Pakistan to Canada, to Pakistan Ki Raay, Mr. Muhammad Saleem. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us. We are truly delighted and honored to have you with us today.
Assalamualaikum, Khanzada sir. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. This is 21st century, and with advancement in technology, the governments all over the world, they do try to optimally utilize all the media channels, YouTube and all other social media handles to convey the message and to separate the words. So I'm really glad that you invited me.
Thank you, sir. It is an honor and pleasure to have you. And let's start with a couple of questions that we have. So, we'll start with our first segment, which will be promoting Pakistan's soft image and culture. So, my question is, Your Excellency, let's start with something close to the heart of every Pakistani, our culture. What are some of the cultural or heritage based initiatives that the High Commission is currently leading to help Canadians experience the richness of Pakistan here in Canada? And on that note, whether it's tourism, education, or volunteer work, how can the High Commission further encourage more Canadians, especially youth, to explore Pakistan as a destination of choice?
It's a very pertinent question how to promote Pakistan in Canada. Uh, Let me inform you that Pakistan is officially represented with the High Commission in Ottawa and three consulates general in Toronto, in Montreal, and in Vancouver. In addition to the official representation, we also have around 300,000 strong Pakistani diaspora living across the country. So basically, Pakistan is not very new to the Canadian society. We have a good number of diaspora and adequate diplomatic and consular representation. Coming to cultural promotion, there are three different ways. One is through government and embassy and consulate events. Like we had a fashion show in 2024, we had a mango exhibition this year, a small one for media in Ottawa. We call it mango diplomacy, and we did it in Montreal, in Toronto, in Vancouver. Similarly, our cuisine is very famous. We have a number of restaurants, Pakistani cuisine restaurants in Toronto, in Vancouver, and in Montreal towns. Even there are eight restaurants in Ottawa now, in Orleans, in Kannada, and in Nepean area of the city. The fourth is our textile garments. We don't only produce classy Pakistani sports gear and garments for the Western market, but we also have a lot of South Asian diaspora living in Canada who are fan of Pakistani garments, particularly for the women. And the third is how to promote Pakistan to Canadians. One is tourism. And I have told my Pakistani origin Canadian friends that whenever they visit Pakistan, they have to take along a Canadian friend. And the other is we organize mountaineering, trekking, hiking exhibition, and some seminar, workshop. We are working on that in the coming season. Pakistan is a tourist attraction place for three, four things. One is professional mountaineering, trekking, and hiking because we are home to three highest mountain ranges of the world: Himalayas, Karakoram, and the Hindu Kush. We have five peaks which are above 8,000 meters high. And we get professional mountaineer expeditions from Western Europe, from North America, from all the way from Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and so on. The second is winter tourism along the southern coast of Pakistan, along Makran Highway. You have a place called Rani Kot in interior Sindh. It is a mini China wall. So one really has to go to those places to see the tourism potential. Then we are also home to religious tourism, particularly for Buddhist heritage, Sikh heritage, and Hindu heritage. And we get thousands of pilgrims from across the world, including from Canada, to Nankana Sahib, to Qatarpur, Hassan Abdal. Then we have some old civilizational UNESCO World Heritage Sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and Taxila Museum, which is a Buddhist heritage. And we host monks and religious tourists from Far East, from ASEAN countries, from Thailand, Philippines, Japan, China, South Korea, and so on. So the potential is there. We only have to reach out to the Canadian friends. We have four direct flights between Pakistan and Toronto every week. Pakistan International Airline. So it is a direct flight connectivity is already there. You can also use connecting flights with other airlines which frequently fly between Pakistan and Canada through third country airports.
Excellent, Your Excellency. That was very informative. Thank you for that answer. And it's really, I mean, it's such a vibrant and resilient culture that like one has unlimited options to offer to the world. Coming to my next segment is strengthening Canada-Pakistan relations. From your perspective, what are the most promising areas where Pakistan and Canada can deepen their collaboration, especially in critical fields like education, climate action, or digital innovation?
Coming to trade and investment and bilateral cooperation on substantive matters, the relations between any two countries encompass political interaction, economic trade, commerce and investment interaction, then people to people connections, then cultural cooperation, then cooperation in higher education, technical education, and professional capacity building and technical training. So, Canada has a very developed economy. It is a digitized economy. And what Pakistan does is we are very good at both software and hardware production and export. Our export of ICT related goods and services last year were around 3 billion US dollars. And the potential is there where Canada and Pakistan can cooperate in ICT. The second is trade and trade in goods. Pakistan has traditionally been exporting textile products, but we can expand that, and we have a sports exhibition coming up next month in Toronto and Montreal. We will be inviting major sports goods manufacturers and exporters from Pakistan because here in Canada next year you are hosting the FIFA World Cup. Canada is one of the hosts in North America, so we are bringing some major Pakistani sports goods manufacturers to introduce them to a Canadian market and Canadian sports boards and sports associations and the sports selling stores. The third is in agriculture. We are an agriculture-based industry and economy in Pakistan, and Canada has a very strong not only agriculture in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, but also they are very good in agriculture, farming equipment, and agriculture machinery and tools. So again, there is a convergence of what you have and what we need, and similarly what Pakistan has and what Canada imports. So the opportunities are unlimited, and we are working with the public and private sectors in Canada, with the federal government here, and also with provinces and private sector.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I have a follow-up question on that, and that is particularly related to the concern of not only Pakistani immigrants but all across Canada. There is something called the Washington Accord that was signed in the 70s by the all the international countries, and Pakistan is a signatory to that. Canada, United States, Europe is a signatory to that, in which every country will recognize the other country's degrees in engineering, in medicine, and other places, because already the Canadian system, like when they invite somebody as an immigrant, they test them for English and other things and for their competencies and their experience. So from your perspective as the High Commissioner for Pakistan, what role can you play in actually voicing this concern for not only Pakistani but all the immigrants from across the world on this subject, that their degrees should get that equivalence in Canada?
The equivalence of academic qualification is done by the respective academic institutions in both Pakistan and in Canada. So there has to be a bilateral arrangement between the two. For example, we have the Higher Education Commission in Pakistan. Similarly, if you want to talk, for example, a medical doctor, Canada officially has a bilingual policy. You have to be fluent in both English and French. So there are number of licensing procedures involved when a Pakistani medical doctor comes here and wants to practice medicine or healthcare as a profession. There is some additional licenses to be obtained, and it may take 2 to 3 years of additional qualification required. So it is not only the academic certificates equivalence, and it is not a barrier, by the way. We have most of Pakistani diaspora here in Canada is comprises of medical doctors, engineers, uh, bankers, IT professionals, chartered accountants, and lawyers. And they did have their first degree from Pakistan, and they came here. They did the further qualification procedures, and they are thriving now. So that means it is not an impediment. Uh, as regards the Canada, it is a country of immigrants, and they invite immigrants from all countries across the globe. So they have their own procedures for academic degrees and qualifications being obtained in foreign countries. So it is for the Pakistani immigrants basically to follow the procedures. As regards equivalence, it is done by the two respective institutions, both in Pakistan and in Canada.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency. I will move on to the next segment, which is economic potential and trade opportunities. Let's talk about trade and investment. What are some sectors in Pakistan that you believe Canadian investors or entrepreneurs should be watching closely right now?
It's a very pertinent question. Pakistan has opened four major sectors for investment. One of them is commercial scale farming. Another is information and communication technology. Third is mines and minerals, rare earth metals, oil and gas exploration. Then we have defense production. Then we have infrastructure development. So these sectors are open, and I'm glad that there is already one major Canadian mining and mineral firm in copper and gold mining in Balochistan province. There is another major Canadian company. They are engaged in clean energy, wind and solar energy project in Sindh province. And our efforts are ongoing for having similar collaboration in ICT and commercial scale agriculture development in Pakistan and oil and gas and other mines and minerals exploration.
Thank you, sir. A follow-up question: are there any upcoming trade agreements or diplomatic efforts in the pipeline that could open new doors for Pakistani products and businesses in Canada?
Very much yes. We have a proposed bilateral agreement on protection and promotion of investment. That will be a great help. There is a business delegation going to Pakistan in the coming months from Canada. That will also explore what all can be done from Canada to Pakistan because you have to create mutual interest and you have to create the necessary space for the business community to enhance the value and volume of trade between the two countries. As of now, the trade volume is around $760 million. Of that, around 460 million is Pakistani exports and 220 million is Canadian exports annually. But this is far less than the potential. It can easily cross the $1 billion mark. And we are working with provinces in Saskatchewan, in Manitoba, and also in technology with machinery, equipment, and technology with Ontario, with British Columbia, with Quebec province, and as regards oil and gas and mines and minerals, Newfoundland, Labrador, and Alberta province are of interest to us, and we are working and trying to reach out to them to generate the necessary interest in Canada. Similarly, from Pakistan side, we regularly attend the annual textile exhibitions held in Montreal and Toronto. It is called Apparel Textile Exhibition. And then there is another food products exhibition called, it is called Sial Food. It is also held alternately in Montreal and Toronto. And we have sizable Pakistani business companies who come and who are selling their products across North America and in Canada as well.
Very interesting. That sounds very promising. So, moving on to our next segment, which is youth education and innovation. My question is: the academic bond between Pakistan and Canada has always been strong. Could you share how the High Commission is supporting research and university level collaboration between two countries? With such a large youth population in Pakistan, what role can Canada play in supporting skill building and innovation for our next generation, especially in areas like tech, entrepreneurship, or vocational training?
Great. Uh, Academic collaboration is already there. It was more robust during 1960s and 70s when Pakistan was just in the initial decades of its uh, independence. Now there is around 4,500 students. They come for second degree in Canada. Most of them come for a second university degree in Canada. They don't come for vocational training. Most of them are for bachelor's or honors or master's degree programs or PhD. So the student number is again a bit less than the potential. Yeah, last week I was in McGill University in Montreal.
Mhm.
I have so far been to here to Carleton University in Ottawa, to Queen's University in Kingston. For you to know, let me tell you that it was McGill University, the School of Medicine. They established the Khan Medical College, University, and Hospital in Karachi.
Mhm.
The University of Toronto, their medical school, they are in a project on stem cell research, a collaboration between Pakistan and Canadian health officials. There is a lot of potential for pharmaceutical industry, for surgical equipment, for paramedical staff training, and also uh, doctors and nurses collaboration to not only for capacity building but also Pakistan can provide qualified medical doctors and nurses to Canada based on the interest they have, and we are working on that with the Canadian provinces and also with Health Canada.
Thank you, sir. That is very wonderful, and I think that's going to go a long way because of all the ties that and the High Commission's hard work on the subject. I will come on to my next segment, which is climate sustainability and global cooperation. Pakistan has been a loud and clear voice on climate justice at global forums. How do you see Pakistan and Canada working together on presenting environmental challenging like clean energy, water security, or climate resilience? Are there specific success stories?
As such, the climate change is a global phenomenon. It is very much high on the agenda of the United Nations. They have these regular forums. One is their Secretariat United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change. It is an organization based in Bonn, Germany. Similarly, they have a convention, UN Framework Convention on Combating Desertification, UNCCD. It is also based in Bonn, in Germany. But you have seen the regular climate change summits,
Mhm.
the Paris Accord, the other regular meetings which are held not only in New York but also in the UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. They have their regional offices in Kenya, in Thailand, and the head office is here in New York. For Pakistan, it is we are one of the most vulnerable countries when it comes to climate change related threats. Similarly, you have seen this year there have been huge wildfires across Canada, and that is also to do with global warming and climate change. So there is a mutual interest for not only Pakistan and Canada, it is a global phenomenon, and all countries of the EU, globe, they have to come together to fight it out together and to build synergies and to cooperate because air, climate, air quality, global warming, and conservation of forests, conservation of glaciers. These are all common threats to humanity for all continents, for all countries of the world. And most of the collaboration here is happening through the United Nations programs. And there are also bilateral programs with, in the Global Affairs Canada, they have a Department for International Development. And they have small projects, including for preparing local communities in far-flung areas in Pakistan to prepare themselves for different climate-related disasters.
Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for that answer, His Excellency. My next question will be on the subject of the Pakistani diaspora in Canada. Pakistani diaspora here in Canada plays such a vital role, not just socially but diplomatically too. What role do you see them playing in strengthening bilateral ties and projecting a positive image of Pakistan abroad? And how about the younger generation? How do you see second or third generation Pakistani Canadians shaping a more modern, confident image of Pakistan across mainstream Canadian society?
And look, we are very much happy that Pakistani diaspora has a sizable number. Most of them are concentrated in Greater Toronto area, then in Montreal City, then in Vancouver, Surrey Island, and then also in Edmonton, Calgary, and there is small number in Halifax and Winnipeg and other major cities across the country. And if you see their profile, they are very active in all sectors of the society, politics, economics, businesses, philanthropy, professionals. As I said before, they are most of them are medical doctors, IT graduates, chartered accountants, consultants, lawyers, and business people. So they are the ambassadors of Pakistan on ground every day of the week. My meetings will be very formal, but the diaspora they represent, they are Canadians of Pakistan origin. So my message to them has been that their personal success is not enough. They have to contribute to bridge Pakistan, Canada in their respective spheres of activity, whether they are medical doctors, IT graduates, or bankers or engineers. They can now contribute to the host society here, and they can also contribute to the bridging the two countries in all fields, whether it is professional collaboration between the university where they graduated in Pakistan and the hospital where they are working now. Similarly, the business community, whatever they are doing here, they can collaborate with their counterparts in Pakistan. And coming to the future generation, the younger generation, they are the real hope for strengthening the bridge and the friendship between the two countries because they have seen Pakistan in their childhood. Now they are here in higher education, in universities, and they know the two cultures, they know the two societies. And looking forward, as of today, there are around 300,000 plus Pakistanis. But with the new generation coming into the market with their professional expertise and qualification, I look forward that the future of Pakistan, Canada, people to people connection and contribution of the diaspora is even more, I would say, even much bigger than the number which we had in the few decades in the past. In the 90s or 80s, the number was very small, but now with these people coming in media and professional jobs in government departments, in politics, in philanthropy, the future is bright.
That's very forward-looking and I think an absolutely perfect answer from you. And I'm very glad to hear that. I have a question on the subject of language. Pakistan's national language is Urdu. 400 people in the subcontinent, 400 million people in the subcontinent speak that language.
Yeah.
And yet, in Canada, I see various, I visited the British Columbian Parliament, and a number of other parliaments in other provinces. And I found flyers in all languages except Urdu. So, what is your strategy for the proliferation of our national language, which was very instrumental even in the creation of the country?
And this is a very pertinent question, particularly for the continuing the tradition of Urdu national language to be transferred to the next generation, the second, third generation Pakistani origin Canadians, because the first generation they know they came from Pakistan, but their children, for them, it is a challenge how to continue with the Urdu. It is not only speaking, but you also need to be able to read, write, speak. And for that, we have a department in McGill University. It is called Institute for Islamic Studies, and they also have on South Asia department. I just gave a set of books to the institute last week when I visited McGill. Similarly, in Ottawa, there is a Abrar school. They also teach Urdu language is one of the minor subjects. A number of community schools across the country, particularly in GTA, in Vancouver, Halifax, Montreal, they organize small, mini-scale events to promote Urdu for the children of Pakistani origin families during summer schools, during the summer recess or summer holiday season. But what we can do is uh, we are already in touch on this subject with National Book Foundation in Pakistan and also with National Language Authority in Pakistan in Islamabad, and they are sending us some books for young generation school kids where they can, it may be bilingual, English and Urdu or French and Urdu, so that we provide these to community organizations across the country in Canada, and they can organize Urdu classes for their second, third generation children during, particularly during holiday season or during on weekends as well.
Thank you very much. That's very interesting to know. I didn't know any of that till you actually told me this today, and I'm glad, Your Excellency. Our my final. We are proceeding towards the final reflections. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear this from you personally. If there's just one thing about Pakistan you wish every Canadian could experience or truly understand, what would that be?
There could be a visit Pakistan. So they say seeing is believing. So only the best way is you just take a direct flight from Toronto. In 13 hours, you land in Pakistan, and then you will see for yourself not only the geographic size of the country, the natural beauty, the landscape of the country, starting from the coastline along Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, Indian Ocean, Makran Coast to interior Sindh province. As I said before, you have to go to Fort Abbas, you have to go to Sakkar, you have to go to Larkana, you have to visit Multan, Fort Monroe, you have to visit Sonskesar. Then up in the north, you have the lush green forest and mountains, the Kagan Valley, the Naran Valley, Sawat Valley, Chitral Valley, Gilgit Baltistan. And if you want still to do adventure, then the peaks are there for hiking and professional mountaineering. So visit Pakistan would be my message.
Thank you, sir. And um I'm very pleased to have you with us today. And what is your message for the Pakistani diaspora across Canada?
My message to the diaspora is that they have to keep excelling. They have earned a good name and fame for themselves in all sectors of uh, social life, political life, economic life. And just coming here as an immigrant and getting a Canadian passport is not enough. They have to really now contribute to the country where they have come. They have to contribute to Canada. They have very active programs in every city. The city hall, they call it the municipal councils. They organize voluntary events where you can volunteer your time. You can make donations. Then there is a lot of culture of philanthropy across Canada. They have to contribute very generously to all the philanthropic events across the country in whatever neighborhood they live. And then they also have to play their role to bridge Pakistan and Canada, not only in trade in goods and services, but also I would say every Pakistani family, when they visit Pakistan and winter or summer holidays, they should at least take one Canadian friend with them. And if they are going there for 2, 3 months, they can take the Canadian friend for 10 days, 2 weeks, and show them some beautiful places, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Mari, Sawat, and then they can prolong their stay while the Canadian guests can come back. So I would say that the real ambassadors are the diaspora, and they have a big role to play not only for their personal success, but also to the whole society and to bridge Pakistan and Canada in all spheres of human interaction.
Wonderful, sir. What a view, Your Excellency. And I wanted to thank you very much for your time today and for discussing with us and providing us your views. And, like as the Pakistani High Commissioner, and we are so glad that you joined us today. And I hope our viewers can comment on your views and like participate more and bring in more for their success as a Pakistani to Canada. Sir, thank you so much today for your time. And I really appreciate it. And I have no words to express my gratitude.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.